sort of get into the rhythm of the round. You want to get off to the best start possible, and obviously that starts with that first tee shot.
Well, there he is, Rory McIlroy, a past U.S. Open winner, set to tee off on what could be an historic day of golf, set against the beautiful Puget Sound. And he's underway. Frank, it looks like a good one.
Yeah, it looked like a free-flowing swing, that's for sure. It certainly betrayed the nervous feeling that we thought he might be feeling on the first tee. And a huge tee shot.
But you've been there, Frank. Nerves are good on the first tee, even for great players.
If you can control them.
Perfect lie here, Frank. What's Rory got?
Well, expect something just slightly right of the flag. You want to avoid the hill and the bunkers on the right. And there's a little bit of a gut or a chasm just over that left side of the green. So left, not a good option.
145 yards away. Looks to be a good one, Frank.
Oh, nestles inside 15 feet. So a birdie chance coming up for Rory.
Opportunity to put pressure on Keimer right out of the gate.
No, it's uphill, Rich. It should, if anything, move to the right. Just depends on the speed of this putt, whether it's left edge or outside.
He has this for a birdie.
Birdie straight out of the gate.
Beautifully done.
I think making putts early in a round is very important. It sets the tone for the day, and it gives you some positive momentum early. You see the ball go into the hole, and it gives you confidence. You face a downhill putt at a US Open with greens that are as tricky as that, it just makes it even more difficult. I feel like you always face important putts no matter when it is, but obviously they're that much more important when, you know, it's the final round of a major.
Now over to the second. McIlroy with a challenging downhill putt. And I know it's early, but this is the type of putt that can really generate some momentum for the rest of the day.
Well, this putt's only 12 feet, Rich, but it's downhill. And because of that, it's going to be very, very fast. You're almost going to putt this like it's only about 8 feet long. Allow the speed of the green to take it the extra distance.
Not that time, but not for lack of effort. Wouldn't call it a pressure-packed spot in this round, but you could sense that McIlroy knew with another birdie to start, he could have really applied some heat to Martin Keimer. After an impressive drive, Rory just 165 yards out, faced with this uphill approach shot.
It's going to play closer to about 175 yards, though, Rich, because of that uphill. So probably an extra club, but Rory, even though he grew up in Northern Ireland, where it's windy, is a naturally high ball hitter. No, it's a good strike, good swing by McIlroy, and no problem finding the putting surface.
Very well done. Almost made it.
Yeah, there'll be no stress for the next one.
He has this attempt for par. Par for McIlroy. But you're just waiting for that moment when he hits that accelerator and pulls away.
There's some times when there might be a wait on a tee box, or you've played your shot and you're waiting on your playing partners to hit their shots, and you just look around and you realize where you are, because you don't really you don't appreciate it that much whenever you're playing, and that's not what you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to win a golf tournament and not really taking in the beauty of your surroundings.
Rory set to tee off here on the long par 3 9th hole, appropriately named Olympus for its high perch above the course. Really a stunning view.
It's right now about club selection, whether to hit one or two clubs less than what the yardage is showing right now. We're at least 100 feet above here. And you're going to want to sit up on the left side of that green. Have to avoid that menacing bunker on the right.
Another good swing, and it looks like, Frank, another really good shot. Stuffed it in there. Beautiful shot. Shouldn't be a problem here, but not a formality either. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Now it is Martin Kaymer all alone. Not unlike that tree out in the distance. They actually called that one Lone Fir here at 15. So McIlroy is the chaser.
And not only is he chasing, Rich, he has to get this up and down. Very difficult flop shot. This is a high-risk shot. Trying to get that ball up very quickly over the little pot bunker and then somehow get the ball to land soft on these very fast and very firm greens.
Pretty good shot right there.
Rich, you get that feeling if there's going to be a moment. I think that moment is now.
Trying to clean this up, make his par. That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Just needs to keep it steady here over the putt. Bit unfortunate, loses a shot here with that bogey.
Final few holes to play, especially of a major championship like the US Open. You know, it's what you've worked so hard for. It's what, you know, you've put all those hours of practice in for, and you know, this is your moment. This is your moment to see what you've got against the best players in the world and test yourself at the ultimate level. There's obviously a lot of pressure. You know, you don't want to let an opportunity like this pass you by. You don't want to let it slip. So just stay really focused, really concentrated. Try to take one shot at a time. Try and put the result out of your mind. Control what you can control. But saying that, it is difficult with so many things going on around you, whether it be the crowd or it could be the person that you're going up against. You know, there's so many things that you can't control, but you know, the things that you can control, that's what you have to concentrate on, and that's what you have to try and, you know, do to the best of your ability. And if you can do that, that's what gives you the best chance to try and win a huge tournament like the US Open.
Well, you couldn't ask for anything more. We're at the 17th. Tie atop the leaderboard. 2 former U.S. Open champions, 2 holes left to play. This is really one of golf's best moments.
And we're looking at 2 of golf's finest, and this hole isn't going to be about power, Rich. It's going to be about precision. And so aptly, this 17th hole is named Derailed. Somebody just might be derailed on this very hole.
Every once in a while, you're reminded this is a pretty hard game.
That was evidence.
How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a masterclass in short game. So McIlroy now just to clean up and stay even with Kaymer.
Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, this has been just a fantastic week, and these last few shots are going to determine the entire championship.
Rich, normally you'd think par on the 72nd hole would be good enough to win a US Open, but this par 5 is certainly reachable by these players. Par, no doubt, will not be good enough.
Yeah, it's in the bunker. Frank, the great thing about these major championships is the slow build-up to moments just like this, and then it gets really tense.
It's a dream scenario, Rich. You just dream that you're going to have the 2 best players in the game buying it out, coming down to the very last hole. That's exactly what we have right now. So far, they've provided great golf. It's going to take something even better than that right now to determine who's going to win. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Frank, ball is in the rough here. What are the problems on this next shot?
Well, this is really where the skill level comes in. A good par, this is where the good player separates himself from the rest.
Oh, no, look out, Frank. I think he flushed that one.
Oh, this is going, gone.
So McIlroy is on the dance floor, but a good ways from the hole. Frank, I'm not saying he should pull out driver here, but this is a long putt.
Greens are fast, though. You never know. Good line, good pace. Might have a chance.
So a tough way to close the round, missing a short putt and a bogey here at 18.
Really. This is an awkward length.
Not quite enough on that one, couple of feet short.
Yeah, hopefully he taps it in. Not his best, but hopefully it's just 2 putts.
This is a 9-footer. I don't leave it short. Wow. This one just requires a little bit of focus. The door was open, but Martin Kaymer slammed it shut. Kaymer, the U.S. Open champion yet again. It came down to the final hole. Kaymer really put on a show. This will forever be remembered as one of the best finishes in major championship history.
Lose a lead or you lose a major, or it doesn't quite work out the way you had hoped. At that moment in time, there's obviously a lot of disappointment, but I think that passes and you use that as motivation for the next one. And that's the only way you can view it. You can't feel sorry for yourself, or you can't get down about it, because what's happened's happened. The past is the past and you move on. But you use it as motivation not to let it happen again. My toughest loss was the 2011 Masters, when I had a 4-shot lead going into the final round and completely blew up on the back 9. It was a very tough moment for me. It was very disappointing, but I used that as motivation to say to myself, that's not going to happen again. That's not the player I am. That's not the player I want to be. I used it in a way that 70 days later, I won my first US Open and my first major. So sometimes disappointments can be catalysts for good things to happen in the future, and it's just how you react to it. And I feel like, if you react to your disappointments in the right way, they can be very beneficial.